Hello, lovely people of the internet. Brian here from NintendoEverything.com, and I am joined by the lovely Dawn.
Where the heck have we been?
Yeah, I should probably bring that up quickly. It's been a long while, not really planned, but first of all, I had internet problems for like 2 weeks, and my upload speeds were horrible, and my download speeds weren't that great, so doing a podcast was pretty much impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you had an internet problem one Friday, like recently, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I thought it was time when we usually would have recorded, so it would have been that big of an issue, but that aside.
yeah, so there have been kind of internet problems on my end, a little bit on your end, and then there wasn't so much news lately, so just kind of a whole bunch of things happen. I've been busy with some side things that hopefully people will start seeing soon, and yeah, just a lot's been going on, some tech issues, as I said, but we're finally back.
Yay.
Hopefully some people missed us, maybe it didn't, but yeah.
Well, at least some people would have. I don't think about all people, but a good subset of people would probably have missed us.
Yep. But at least we do have quite a bit to talk about this week, and a lot of it doesn't even really come from Nintendo themselves.
Yeah, well, one thing does, but for the rest it doesn't, but yeah.
A couple of things,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we might as well just start out with what came out today, and this is one of the things we were referring to, because obviously Nintendo didn't really want to talk about the NX until next year, but unfortunately for them, we are hearing a report about some things relating to the console. Or system, I should say, because we don't technically even know what it is right now.
That is correct. It was a report from the Wall Street Journal, which came out over the sun. I didn't expect that to drop that over the sun on a Friday.
Yeah, it's very random.
Afternoon, but it's like, yeah, this is happening. It's like, okay, good, very good. Finally, some information about the next, even though it's not exactly much amazingly to go on, but it's like, yeah, it's important that we know.
Mm-hmm. So I would say there are a few tidbits worth talking about. We could really go in any order, but I guess one thing we could talk about is how supposedly this platform is going to be using some industry-leading chips.
Which is very interesting, considering how for 2 generations now they were not doing that. They were trying to keep their costs of their console in check, which made them lose not much money in return, and it was a massive. It caused massive sales for the Wii, and massive profits, but not so much for the Wii U.
Right.
And I think they kind of learned from that mistake. Because one time it perfectly fits, the second time, when you put more focus towards like people who actually play your games actively, it becomes sort of a problem.
Yeah. And they've also kind of focused more on innovation rather than bringing out cutting-edge technology.
True, but they were also... I remember this at the time of... just slightly after the Wii U launch, like, there were developers saying that Nintendo was trying to make the system make use as less energy as humanly possible. So they were also kind of trying to make it a system that would be great for having in your household. In some ways it worked perfectly well, in other ways it sort of didn't. But it seems sort of a move that is not unprecedented for Nintendo to do right now. Because they kind of need to go all out with the next one.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, just how powerful the system's going to be. And another thing I kind of wonder about is whether they'll be willing to sacrifice something like backwards compatibility in order to, have this platform that's kind of high boost in power.
Well, there is already... So, if the NX is going to be what it sort of says it's going to be, like having multiple form factors in one package, I don't think like backwards compatibility will be that much of a problem. Considering the Wii U wasn't all that difficult to develop for, so I don't think it would be that difficult to bring games over from Wii U to NX. Especially if you maybe have digitally downloaded them. I don't know how they would do that.
Yeah.
But it's more the issue of which route they're going to take with NX, and that's something I think nobody really knows at this stage.
Yeah. you were kind of getting onto this, but another quote from that article is that the NX is supposedly that could have a mobile unit that could either be used in conjunction with the console or taken on the road for separate use. So, there's some people who are speculating that it's going to be a hybrid. I'm not really in that camp, just based on what Iwata said before he passed. He never really indicated that it was going to be a hybrid, but that's what some people are speculating.
Well, he never outright denied it. He only said the system will have multiple form factors.
Yeah.
So he never said anything else in that regard. So it could totally still be a hybrid.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
It's not out of the question necessarily. It's just I'm starting to wonder how this all will play out in 2016. Because this is the actual first details we actually know about this system. Well, they're slim, but they're something to go by.
Mm-hmm.
If Nintendo is really planning to release it next year, I think they should start talking about it as soon as possible.
Yep, I'm with you there 100%.
Not necessarily from me talking and writing news standpoint, it's more important for a consumer to know what exactly is going on. Because regardless of how many units like the Wii U sold, there's still 10 million people out there who are still waiting from, well, how long is this system gonna last?
Mm-hmm.
How long is Nintendo dedicated to developing games for the system? Well, you could say that they're kind of dropping the ball already, but that aside the point. Because Animal Crossing, Amiibo Festival, and Mario Tennis say hello. But that again, that's besides the point. But it's kind of a wait and see approach at this stage in time. Because we know that a few games are coming in 2016. But the only big one is Zelda, and honestly, since that footage of the Game Awards, we haven't heard a peep about it.
Yep.
And I would have kind of imagined that around this time, somebody would have started talking about it.
Yeah.
And I see that I think Anuma is kind of distracting us with Triforce Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But quite frankly, that's not going to work. It's going to just make the rumor mill just go higher and higher. Because the big part in this question and answer session in my head is, what will happen with Zelda on Wii U? Is that a game that's still coming to the Wii U, maybe in the first half of 2016? Or are we going to say from the Wii U is kind of done, we might see it at the end of the year together with the NX?
My gut feeling, and this is just completely, baseless speculation, is that it's going to be on both systems.
I'm not too sure yet. I kind of hope it would be. But, again, it's the lack of confidence that Nintendo has shown regarding this product.
Yeah. As you said, we haven't heard about it in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, we have more stuff coming thanks to Star Fox being delayed for Wii U now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3-4 games still kind of in the pipeworks.
Right.
Like full-on retail games. But it's that fifth one that I'm most curious about.
Yeah. A lot of interesting stuff. And that's even though we don't really know too much about the console.
Yeah. There's not much to go on, honestly. We could talk and endlessly discuss it, but like I said on Twitter earlier today, it's better to enjoy the last few Wii U games first.
Mm-hmm.
And then to start asking yourself what is next. Because honestly, bickering and just thinking yourself over and over, it's not going to help, because Nintendo is not going to tell us until next year anyway.
Yeah, just going to have to wait and see what happens. I just, like you said, I kind of hope they start talking about it sooner rather than later, because I can't see them just coming out at E3, and if they were to release it next year, just coming out with it a few months later.
Yeah, and that was the big problem with Wii U, the road to Wii U felt too long.
Yeah, it was really long, actually.
Yeah, I think they first starting to talk about the concept at the beginning of 2011. and then they properly revealed it at E3 2011, and then there was a long road ahead until the launch in November 2012. So I don't know. They need to do this a bit faster than they usually would, because, like, the Wii U. I think this is the Wii U's last holiday season, like big holiday season. I don't think it's gonna last another.
Yeah, just based on the software schedule, I don't see how, it's gonna carry on for another big year into the holidays next year.
Except if they really want to push Pokken Tournament that comes out at the beginning of the year until the end of the year, but I don't think that will happen.
Yeah. But, well, let's just see what happens with all of that. Gonna probably wait a little while for official details, but, for all we know, there could be more leaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Talking about leaks.
Yeah, that's a good segue, going from one leak to another. Yeah. There have been some rumors circulating about Zelda Twilight Princess HD for Wii U.
I'm gonna say it like this. It's all rumor and just saying. Like, there's no way this is fake at this point.
Yeah, I just, I always feel a little bit cautious calling anything confirmed unless it comes from Nintendo, but basically this has been found, like, through the eShop and through official servers, so...
Nintendo has a big problem with hackers as of late. And this is the biggest one of the pile.
I'm honestly kind of shocked that this thing even happened.
I am more surprised that they were able to track every single ID code of the eShop.
Yeah, I just don't understand how they could, allow for that. Allow for anyone to do that.
This list can't impossibly be a fake. And I say this for a couple of reasons. Why? The first one was, this list popped up on Monday. It was published a few days earlier. It popped up on Monday. And this list contained every single eShop release, including stuff that was scheduled to release this week in Europe and Japan.
Yep, that's true.
The people who even would make such a list wouldn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't know. So that makes me already think that this list is almost as surely as legit as it possibly can be.
Yeah, and it was a big list with, like, all the ID numbers or whatever it was, so, yeah. It's weird that anyone was able to access this.
Yeah, for example, Mario Sports Mix came out last week in Europe, and that is only up there as a European ID.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Japanese one, not an American one, just European.
Yep.
So, all of this, together with the things we do know, makes me honestly think this could possibly be not a fake.
Yeah.
It's too good not to be one.
I'd be very surprised if it's fake. I just can't believe that this kind of stuff has been found.
Yeah, it's totally possible to do so, but that somebody would go to the extent to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we have heard from also other sources that Twilight Princess HD is definitely on those servers.
Right.
Like 4 different people have already confirmed that. So there is no way, but it raises a new question altogether, and that is, if this is already on the servers of the eShop, when are they exactly planning to release this?
I was going to bring that up just now. I don't understand why it's on there already, because they haven't even announced this game, and it's just going to be weird if, like, they announce it, let's say, in a Nintendo Direct soon, and then it comes out, this holiday? I just can't see that happening.
Well, you never know with Nintendo. They could easily drop that bombshell on us, and we would be totally okay with it.
I'd be okay with it, but I just think it'd be bizarre for them to announce something and then release it like a month later.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm definitely gonna say that it's a weird thing that they're currently doing. But it's not unprecedented, considering they have dropped stuff on us many times before without any further notice.
That's true, but I feel like this would kind of be a big deal. Like, even with Majora's Mask 3D, they announced it in that Nintendo Direct, and then they kind of, they didn't, like, hype it up that much, but it did come out a few months later. It wasn't like, oh, this comes out in 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So it'd just be weird.
It's a really hard think to say at this stage what is actually going on. I mean, they could easily drop a press release next week, and we're getting it in a month.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all I'm saying. Like,
yeah, they could definitely do that. It would be weird.
I know.
I'm
not gonna deny it's weird.
This is like no hype at all. Just here it is. Have fun.
Yeah, but it would continue the streak of Nintendo not releasing original stuff on the Wii U eShop.
Yeah.
But discussing this leak a little bit further, because there's a second layer to all of this stuff, and that is the list of Virtual Console and Wii titles.
Hmm.
There's some interesting stuff coming, like Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that was on there.
Yeah, Mario Strikers Charged, Super Sluggers, Other M.
Even the Ace.
Sorry.
I was gonna say even the Ace Attorney games are on there, which is kind of weird because we have a Ace Attorney trilogy on 3DS, but I guess it is a Wii Virtual Console release, so.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I was previously with the Wii games.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There's New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Paper Mario, Royal and Shake It, and Xenoblade Chronicles is already available in Europe, so I don't really count that, but that's down there as well, so probably it's coming to America soon also.
Yep.
This list is sort of crazy, because you already touched on Phoenix Wright, but there is some other interesting stuff on there, like both DS titles of The Legend of Zelda, Kirby Mass Attack, which is not that old of a title.
Yeah.
So they're certainly are considering like a broad range of titles like coming to the platform or to the Virtual Console on Wii U pretty soon. But that they put together all of this and found this all on the servers is sort of amazing.
I just still can't believe it. I've said that like 5 times, but I just can't believe that someone managed to find all this.
It's totally possible, but it's crazy that somebody only did it just now.
Yeah, and like, what are even all these games doing up there? Are they just like sitting on them?
Well, I do think that Nintendo or NCL prepares like many of their eShop titles, their Virtual Console titles, way in advance, because honestly, their main focus on the Wii U eShop is Virtual Console titles.
Yeah, that is true, and a lot of these listings were for Japan, so.
Yeah, I honestly think that most of these will probably come out in the next few months. Because if you look how the stuff they're still getting as of late on the Virtual Console there, it's sort of impressive. And then you look at Europe or North America, it's like, that could be a little bit better.
Yeah, they sometimes get like 3 or 4 games a week, so.
I think the weirdest one I saw on the entire list was Super Mario All-Stars.
That's an interesting one.
And for the Super Nintendo, which, if you don't know, that's our refurbished versions of Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, and the last levels.
Yeah, that is kind of a curious one, because you would think they would just want to sell all the individual games.
Yeah, well, those 3 games have been on sale long enough that they could probably do that.
Yeah, that's true.
And also the physics are a bit different in that version of the game. So, it's probably possible. But yeah, this list is super interesting. I honestly feel that all of this stuff will just drop at some stage, and I'm kind of excited for it. But the Twilight Princess HD one, man, the Twilight Princess HD one is such a crazy move.
Yeah.
Like we know that they experimented with this for a while now. They were still planning the Wind Waker HD. This was one of their tests with Twilight Princess HD. And I honestly think that we wouldn't see this. But now it kind of feels within our grasp. And I'm not sure if this is going to be an eShop release only, or if this is also going to be a retail release.
I really hope it's not just eShop. That would kind of suck.
Yeah, because the Wind Waker HD was that. Though, to be fair, it has been long enough for Twilight Princess to warrant an HD re-release. Like, in 2016, that game will be 10 years old.
Wow, that is kind of... I didn't even think about that, but that's true. That is kind of crazy to me.
Is it?
I still remember, like, the first time playing, getting my Wii and everything. It doesn't even feel like that. It was that long ago.
Next year, the Wii is 10 years old.
Now I'm starting to feel old.
Don't we all? But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but we'll have to see. It's a weird one.
Yeah. I sort of have mixed feelings in a way about this, though, because, we've been getting a lot of Zelda remakes, and I almost want them to save some remakes for the next generation.
Yeah. Well, that's what Skyward Sword is for, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be like the last 3D one that they could really bring over, unless they do HD versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
We'll see.
Yep. But I do love that game, actually, so I will be happy if it does make it out.
Nice. Yeah, me too.
Alright, so we can move on from all the leaked news, and we could talk a little bit about some official news. And, one of the things coming straight from Nintendo is a release date for Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, or Paper Jam Bros. In Europe.
Yes. I don't know why Nintendo of Europe feels the need to put Bros at the end there, just like...
I don't know.
Like the Mario & Luigi Dream Team Brothers.
It feels pointless, but I'm not going to argue with it.
I think it's super pointless, but that aside. Yeah, that game is coming way earlier than we expected it to.
For you lucky Europeans.
It does make sense, because this is like the same sort of release schedule with Mario & Luigi Dream Team. Where Europe and Japan and Australia got it really close to one another, and America a month later. So going by that logic, it would probably be in January for you guys.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. But here's my problem with the European release, right? And you maybe already feel this is coming. Why the frick is it on the same release date as Xenoblade Chronicles X?
Ooh, that's... I don't know if that was such a good idea, thinking about that.
And in Australia, Yokai Watch and Xenoblade come out that week, and then 5 days later, Mario and Luigi come out.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that doesn't really make much sense. Why do you release two massive RPGs on the same freaking day?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it that much, but like you said, they're both RPGs, and, some people might be more inclined to pick up Mario and Luigi just because it's a Mario game, so... Even though they're on two different systems, and ultimately they are pretty different.
Yeah. But there are people who want both of them. They can't play all at the same time.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Those are two freaking RPGs. What the frick are you doing? Can't you have released Mario and Luigi like a week later? Wouldn't that be that hard of a deal?
Would you be mad if it came out in January instead?
No, I wouldn't, because that makes sense, because you don't release two freaking RPGs on the same day.
Yeah, thinking about it actually might make more sense for it to come out in North America in January.
Let me put it in perspective for people in America. So, this is our current release schedule. We'll get on... of course, October 23rd, Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes comes out.
Right.
Then, a week later, Fatal Frame comes out, or Project Zero. The limited edition of that. Then, a week later, Chibi Robo. Then a week pause. Then... Mario Tennis, Amiibo Festival for all those Animal Crossing Amiibo. Hello. And New Style Boutique 2. Then a week break. Then Mario and Luigi. And Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That's a lot.
Are they insane? Are they actually mentally nuts?
Well, I don't think anyone could buy all that, to be fair.
But there are dedicated Nintendo fans like that. There are people who will do that. There might be people who do that who listen to this very discussion of ours.
Yeah, I will give you that.
This release schedule is insane.
You seem to be very mad about it.
Huh?
You seem to be very mad about it.
Well, it didn't do much favors for some of the games like last year, or a couple of years ago when they had a packed release schedule of like 3 games at 2 different time slots. So doing this again, to be fair, it's a bit more spread out. I will give it that. But it's a lot of games to play in just a few months.
Yeah, and I think the North American schedule is kind of packed too, actually.
Yeah. Well, you have Yokai Watch instead of Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, and I think
let's be frank about that. But
and do you guys have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon this year? I don't think so.
Next year.
Yeah, so we get that in a few weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm. So there are some key differences, but the big thing is we're piling everything on a few dates.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly going to be fun. But yeah, it's a necessary evil, I guess.
And on the bright side, if you're, a really dedicated Nintendo fan, then you have a lot to play.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff to play, I guess. And Xenoblade and Mario and Luigi will last you for the month of December, I think.
Yep, and then get all the other games to catch up on, and if you want to spend more money, there's the Animal Crossing amiibo.
Yeah. Well, if you are like a big, broad Nintendo fan, there is a lot of stuff to go through, my friends.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of shitty in some regards, but who knows? It gives them a lot of money this holiday season.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about the actual game a bit, but we did hear a little more details on that front.
Not much, but a few, yeah.
I think there was like a little bit on the story about how Luigi opens a book in Peach's castle, and then characters from Paper Mario come out.
And those worlds will then cross over, and it will be a jolly good time, yeah.
I'm pretty stoked for this game, actually.
I'm pretty excited, too.
It does make sense for them to cross over.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. At the same time, I'm kind of excited that it comes out this year. Because honestly, I didn't expect that game to come out March, April.
Yeah, it was just another one of those kind of random announcements from Nintendo that we're getting lately, because no directs.
Yeah. And it continues the trend of Nintendo of Europe yearly putting one title earlier than it's supposed to. Because last year we had Smash Bros. 2 weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this one is a way larger one. This one is like multiple months earlier than we actually expected. And it's sort of awesome. I'm not gonna deny it sort of rocks. But I do think that American fans really wanted this game more than maybe Yokai Watch or Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon.
Or how about forgetting about Devil's Third? Even though it's on the Wii U.
You really had to remind me of Devil's Third, have you? You had a good conversation, and you really had to remind me of Devil's Third. Do you know what you have done? You have brought back tons of bad memories of that game.
Well, hey, we have to get that game instead of probably Mario and Luigi, so...
Well, that's the choice of the North American fans who wanted really much and said that on Twitter as such.
Alright, we should probably move on. Otherwise, we're going to sour the conversation.
Europe had no choice, you know. We got it regardless.
So, Don, I think to close things out, because I know you want to talk about this a little bit, we should bring up Splatoon stuff.
We do, yeah, we should. So, Splatoon is getting an update next week. And it's a massive one.
A lot of adjustments.
A lot of adjustments. And they were super specific about it.
Yeah, they even put out a PDF.
They put out a proper PDF with all the changes to all the weapons, to all the stages, to every single bit they're going to change. And it's sort of insane. So, they are... So, let me put this in, like, the easiest way possible. They are going to change a lot of the problems I had with the weapons in Splatoon.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. And I think the big one here is that they are going to change all of the rollers. And what they're going to do is that you can now only splat people in one hit when they are at the center of your roller. If they are at the sides now, no luck.
I think I do like that.
Yeah. It will just cause a lot of damage, but you will not be KO'd in one hit. And next to that, they're gonna change a whole bunch of stuff regarding the blasters, the nozzle noses, like the Splashomatic. The Splashomatic actually is one of my favorite weapons. It actually is getting a base damage increase, surprisingly enough. And I actually like that weapon, but it wasn't not that strong, so that's actually pretty great. Every single thing that we have seen, like the splatter shots or the Splatter Shot Pro or the ink brushes, everything is getting something different. And it's good that they're doing this, but it also raised the question, is there more than just all of these changes?
Are you wondering about new content?
Yeah.
Well, obviously there have been rumors about the Octolings, but hasn't that been in there since the last update?
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna do something with that, or if there's something else that I haven't told us yet. Because this seems way too convenient just to have updates.
Yeah,
they're adding something behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure about that.
They do seem to add with Splatoon, actually. Yeah, with Splatoon they do seem to add in some things that usually people don't know about right away.
Yeah, I feel that this update is a great opportunity to add more. We have to see if they actually are going to own up that, but we'll see. It seems crazy enough that they're doing like a whole list of things to the game without the support of something additionally to reel people back in and to experience the new metagame for themselves. Because they're making changes to every single level, like to some of the visual effects, to the battles, to all of the weapons, like every single, even rank battles for like rank S and rank S plus players is going to be changed.
Yeah, they're making rule adjustments, so there's like a whole lot of changes to everything.
They're changing every single like weapon in the book. It seems like such an important ordeal that it would be crazy for them not to include something else in there.
Yeah.
And I think they're just not telling us about it just yet. Just sort of for the sole purpose of revealing it to us later.
Maybe. You know, if they're going to say something, they don't have too long to do it because the update comes out, I think, Tuesday night in North America and very early in the morning in Europe on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, maybe they will do that on Monday, Tuesday. It's never too late.
Yeah.
But it could also just be the case that they have content planned, but they were going to reveal that maybe on Friday and then just release it.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know what exactly they're going to do. It's Nintendo, for crying out loud. Please.
Good point.
And also with the major like maintenance they're going to do on Monday, at least something is going to happen next week.
Yeah, there's the maintenance, and then there's this update.
Well, we should definitely say that for a bit. Like every single bit of the online functions of like Wii U and 3DS is going offline.
Yeah, that's another thing to bring up.
Like all the Nintendo ID stuff, all the online stuff, and both Nintendo eShops. And
I'm not sure
also Wii Shop and DSi Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of Nintendo eShop maintenance before, but I don't think we've ever gotten that really. Plus,
the last time that this happened, we got a major firmware update.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good 1.5 years ago.
So maybe we'll see something good then.
I think we'll probably see something good.
It's exciting times. We have rumors about that. We have rumors about Zelda.
I think stuff is going down next week. I can almost feel it in my gut.
Hopefully, if anything big does happen, we'll try to talk about it.
Oh, I have to definitely the feeling something. Maybe even if it's small, something is going to happen next week.
Now I'm kind of getting nervous.
Me too. I'm kind of nervous since I realized how much stuff that they discussed today and over the last couple of days.
Think I have to get in the hype train.
I think we need to get to the train station right now.
We'll try to hold in the hype until next week. And yeah, if there's anything big that comes out, we will definitely try and talk about it. Hopefully we won't go on another big hiatus, and hopefully my internet won't go down the toilet again. So yeah.
Internet, stay alive, please. We need you.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week. Quite a bit of stuff to talk about, though.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened.
And we'll just see what happens over the next few days.
Yep. And now we're gonna all back to play video games.
Yay!
Yay.
Alright, guys. Yay. On that note, I think we're gonna sign off for today, but we'll hopefully see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.